BioWare has been supporting both Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect 2 with a constant stream of DLC, but for the most part the DLC has been pretty weak. Mass Effect has mostly released new squad members and weapons, most of which you have to pay for, and it's not really worth the price they're asking. And Dragon Age has released some good DLC, but most of it has all been kinda short. And while all this DLC, excluding Awakening, has just been side missions, BioWare has decided to release 2 hugely important story missions as DLC. For Mass Effect, the Lair of the Shadow Broker, which will cost you 800 Microsoft points, and for Dragon Age, Witch Hunt, which is 560 points. Now for both these DLCs, you're much better off playing them after you've beaten the game, so if you haven't, go beat it, then come back and watch the reviews. So I'll start with Mass Effect 2, Lair of the Shadow Broker. Now again, I'm assuming you've played through Mass Effect 2, so there are some spoilers here. Just to quickly refresh your memory, your character Commander Shepard died at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, and Liara retrieved your body for Cerberus, which is explained in the Mass Effect Redemption comic series, which if you have read, you will recognize a few characters in the DLC. But there was one who didn't return, which kinda surprised me. At the beginning of the DLC, Cerberus sends you a message with intel on the Shadow Broker, and after you tell Liara about it, she becomes interested, not only in revenge, but to save her friend. And so this begins your adventure that will take you about 3.5 hours, and for $10, that seems like a bit of a ripoff. But that doesn't mean it's not good. In fact, this mission ranks up there with the assault on the Collector base. Not only is there a few twists in the story, but there is a ton of action, including a speeder chase similar to the scene in Star Wars Episode 2. The different places you fight at are definitely places you haven't seen before, even if one part does take place on Ilium. And the story will easily keep you moving forward, except you really don't make any decisions, but the story is still good. And, believe it or not, there are a few bosses, and none of them are heavy mechs. Now my biggest problem with the DLC is more of a problem with all the Mass Effect DLC in general. BioWare has been releasing gun packs that comes with 3 guns for $2, which is nice when you have them all, because then you get a nice choice of gun. But why didn't they release them with the missions? $2 is just a ripoff for guns, and with the DLC missions being short, it would have made up for it a little. But definitely buy the Lair of the Shadow Broker over any of the other DLC.
Flemeth once told me that temptation lies in the forbidden. Do not follow me, I said.
Now as for the Witch Hunt DLC, it's a bit of a different story. Of course again, I'm assuming you've beaten Dragon Age, because this DLC takes place a year after Origins, so spoiler alert. You, the Warden, have received word of someone near Plymouth's old hut, so you begin your search for Morrigan. First off, this DLC is short. It took me about an hour and a half to beat. There's no new locations, but revisiting the old ones was kinda nice. And the enemies aren't very memorable, with one exception. Your group consists of you, your dog, a Dalish elf, and a mage. Now I played the Xbox version, which isn't very tactical to begin with, but with hardly any time to get used to your new team, I don't see how anybody on the computer can be as strategic as they
Not
look.
another step. What are you doing here?
Now obviously the best part of this DLC is the story, because it is the last Dragon Age Origins DLC.
First by the Tevinter Magisters, then by the Wretched Circle. And Morrigan
In fact, the shortness didn't really bother me my first time through, because I really wanted to get to the end and see what happens. And while the end will answer some of your questions, it's definitely a lead into Dragon Age 2. So obviously I'm only suggesting Witch Hunt for those who want to see how things wrap up, which I'm assuming is mostly everybody. But if you could care less about Morrigan, then don't buy the DLC. Maybe even wait till it goes on sale. But of course, the Mass Effect Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC was totally worth it. If you like this review, then subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter for updates on what I'm reviewing next. And make sure to check out oxplanet.com and flashrivergames.com.